Good morning, Marianne B. How are you? Um, Hello, chat. Glad to be here. Um, just thought I would do a random Monday stream. Jay's not here yet, but Jay will be back. So I just thought I would go. I would, I'll just jump on. I've been doing a lot of stuff this weekend. Good morning, Moose, and Let Loose. Um, I've been reorganizing my background because I put another shelf in, and I'm just starting to do a little more on my backgrounds. So just trying to get that organized. It's been interesting because I had to put a new table in, I had to move this, I had to shift that. Trying not to break something. I did break one of my my G1 Thundercracker. It fell and uh where his engines are, it cracked. So it's not a big deal. I have other Thundercrackers, but when you break a transformer, it's like, ugh. Um, what do you do, right? Things happen. Um, so as long as it wasn't like one of my rarity stuff, like a Jetfire or a Shockwave or an Optimus or a Megatron. Uh, um, Sorry, chat. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting some work stuff taken care of and done. Like yesterday, I didn't do any streaming. I was on Debease's because it was Debease's birthday. So again, Debease, if you're around, happy birthday. Um, and then I was on Nerd Slap's channel with Ronan, um, Atomic Patriot, Jeff up north. Um, who else was there? I know I'm missing somebody. Just Nerd Slap, Jeff up north, Ronan, Atomic Patriot. Oh no, it was just me. So yeah, there was five of us. So that was fun last night. I didn't do any gaming. I was a little tired because I gamed a lot all weekend, doing a lot of Star Wars, doing a lot of Battlefront. But that was fun. I just want to get in my because like I said, I'm trying to add more of my display to what I have. Um, I'm literally going through some of my collection, finding random stuff because the problem is, uh, Cajun Corey, what are you saying? Your title is misleading. No such thing as a happy Monday. My Monday so far, Corey, it's fine. So what can I say? How do 3D print repair pieces go over? Um, they go over okay. Um, so on one of my pieces I bought, somebody had it needed it needed a 3D printed cover. That's about it. I know a lot of people do it. My whole thing is I don't want to get involved really with 3D printed stuff because for me, um, my G1 stuff is dear to me, and I like and because the G1 stuff is worth more money. So that's why I look at it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to use the Monday sucks joke. I know, Corey. I'm always waiting for you to do some funny stuff. Hey, good morning, Mojo. Mojo, I just saw your video. Pretty good. The collection's going pretty well. What you got, what you have. So, Yeah, it's looking good. But just going back to Moose Let Loose, yeah. Like I see a lot of guys, the problem is I see a lot of guys on like Marketplace and Kijiji and stuff like that. They're I don't trust the 3D printed stuff because I just don't know where the stuff comes from and what they're planning on doing it. Because it's bad enough, like if you're gonna build something and then if you're gonna make something and then sell it and it's not authentic, right? It, you know, people can do whatever they want, but I don't want to get tied into buying something that I don't need. Like I said, I don't know where I put it. The Thundercracker I broke. It sucks. Would I get a 3D printed piece for that? Probably not. I'm gonna see if I can just fix it and glue it because I still have the piece, but I don't want to get too much into that. Hey, morning, John Blair. How you doing? Hey, good morning, Wayfair. So as you see the shelf behind me, I just I put that in. I can get you a better picture. Um, Let me just do this because, like I said, I'm trying to add more. Hey, good morning, Sean. Hope you're well. I'm trying to get more in here. Just one sec, chat, because I wanna share this. Um, what am I looking for? Oh, there. That's what I'm looking for. Put that there. Put this here. Yeah, it was a great stream with Nerd Slap last night. We talked about a few things. Um, whenever if you get a chance, watch Robot Head's Book of Boba Fett review. It's pretty damn good. Um, let me see here. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to multitask because I just want to show something. I think it's right there, right here. Ah, there it is. Found it. Mute, enter, and oops. Sorry, chat. That feedback. Uh, so here, as you can see, I was just adding a little more in. Move some more boxes. I'm just setting this up. As you can see, you see where Ryan and Az are sitting. I'm covering Megatron for a reason because I don't want to get hit by the AI because Megatron's a pew pew. Um, so I don't want any issues. So that's why they're covering him. Was that a Decepticon layout? Yeah, maybe, maybe. But I just want to share this quickly. Um, if everyone gets a chance, view channel. Oops. Wow, this is. Oh boy. Let me just go back here. Um, I'm just trying to find this thing here. Oh, okay, I found it. Let me. Hey, good morning, Davina. Let me just share this. So if you guys if you guys want to watch a great, oh, and good morning, I'm missing a couple here. Uh, Good morning, April. Good morning, Davina. Thanks for being here. So if everyone gets a chance, watch this. Watch Robot Head's video. Came out yesterday. Uh, it's Boba Fett: The Complete Disaster. Um, I have to say, like, I didn't like the Book of Boba Fett, but after watching Robot Head's video, I despise it even more. I mean, the show is bad. I mean, really, really bad. But like I said, after watching Robot Head's video, oh my God, like what a train wreck Book of Boba Fett is. I mean, he pointed out every aspect of the show. Like I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. I mean, the show is trash. I mean, it's dog shit. I've it's horrible. Disney had no idea what they were doing, what they were making. Um, Morning, Space Rebel. Hope you're well. Um, it was just so bad. I just watched a movie on building on a Shelby series and Luke Costello. Oh, nice. Um, it was great. And even I gave it a chance because I like the book. I like Boba Fett, and he breaks everything down from start to finish, comparing certain aspects of the OT, concern breaking it stuff from the prequels. I mean, I just like I said, I just did not realize how bad the Book of Boba Fett was after watching his video. Um, the video is about an hour. It's over an hour and a half, but it's so good because he breaks it down into the four parts. But for the whole show, and Disney effed up. I mean, Disney effed up royally. So, and this is why I hope to have Robot Head on our prequel show, but highly recommended. If you get a chance, just give it a like. Give it a watch, give it a like. But I mean, it's comedic gold how he just dissects this bad, bad show. Like I will never like. I'm just waiting for him to do an Obi-Wan show. I gotta look to see if he did one on the Obi-Wan show, but like for Boba Fett being the baddest mercenary, guy out there, like even Vader respected Boba Fett, tells you how this thing just went sideways. Oh God. Like I was like I like watching videos, but I was really tuned into his video. Like I mean it is good. So everyone, I would give give that one a like. Yeah, it's called How to Kill an Icon. Boba Fett: The Complete Disaster. So again, whenever you get a chance, give it a watch. It is that good. I haven't watched any of the Disney Star Wars shows. I could tell it was all rock from. Yeah, I get some people saying, they Rogue One is kind of the exception because it was kind of good, but Rogue One wasn't that good because they split because I believe it was Garth Edwards who was originally directing it, and then he got moved out, or I don't know what happened, and then Ron Howard came in, and then they just changed a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah. Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, glad that you're well. Disney Star, yeah, they're just bad. They are just bad. That tracks, yeah. His video on TLJ is a good god tier. So I got, you know what? I got to check that out. I have to check that out because I just never like because actually I shared it on X yesterday and he came back and he says, "Oh, thanks," and then he replied back saying, "I didn't, you know, he didn't think Disney could be such a disaster when it comes to Star Wars. Like they totally were." And this is why I get like when Ryan says, you know, he wants nothing to do with Star Wars anymore because of the way the way they are. It's just so yeah, it's just so bad. Um, so hilarious. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Tech has always given human. It's, yeah, I just because I remember last year when Revenge of the Sith was coming out for its re-release, and I asked Ryan, "Are you gonna go watch it?" And Ryan said no, and 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 he said how much he likes the Revenge of the Sith, the prequels. He just doesn't want to give Disney, the money, his money, and I totally get that. I totally understand on that point. Is do you want to keep giving Disney money for the slop that they make, even though it was a prequel, but that money still goes back to Disney. So, Rogue One was soulless, and The Force Awakens just yeah, it did. I thought Rogue One. You know what? Besides the Vader scenes, I didn't care for that movie. And I remember I fell asleep during that movie. That's how bad it was. Um, hey, good morning, Tony G. Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Hey, good morning, Sin. Oh, I love how Cole's Collection is a guest on the stream. Yeah, Cole's Collection is just hanging out. Um, Cole's Collection is just hanging out. Got Ryan back there. You know, Cole's Collection is fun. Like I said, I just added that white the I just added this white shelf here, so because I want to start putting adding more in. Um, so it's coming together. It's coming together. Rogue One told a story we already knew. Yeah, exactly. We already knew what was going to happen. You know, and they didn't give us any. They didn't give us any character build uh build ups. You know what, for what the prequels were, we got so much out of it, and it was great. So I loved it. Um, but the Star Wars fanboys gave all this the seal claps anyway. We give them a benefit of doubt of the Force. It was funny too because in that video from Robot Head, um he put in clips of the basically fans crying and screaming and how much how much the Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker and just like it bothers me when I see, and this is just me, um it bothers me to see people crying over just garbage. Um when they were showing part when he was like, and he made sure Robot had made sure he showed clips of because when they removed Boba Fett from like two or three episodes, um they brought in Cad Bane and others, and people are just losing their effing mind over just why are you crying over this? I'm just like, is our society, just became so I'm trying to be clean here, but p whipped of people being manly anymore. It's sickening. Okay, listen, I'm a huge Transformers fan. If I got in GI Joe, if I got the Holy Grail, the GI Joe aircraft carrier, if that showed up, am I gonna cry? No. I'd be happy, but I'm not gonna cry saying, "Oh my God, I got it! I can't believe it!" Like, I just don't understand people anymore. I don't. Now, when Optimus Prime died in 1986, yeah, I cried because I was a kid. You know, I was, I don't know, how old was I? Like, think I was like 9, 10 years old. So, do I cry now when I watch it? No, I don't. Hail chat, all mods. Good morning, Paul. Feel the fanboys, any slop and they go wild, train seal. Yeah. No, it's just not you. Yeah, they are weak-minded. I mean, it's just disgusting. Um, when, and I remember, I can't remember, someone else even last year showed a video of people just crying and belly aching when they see a certain Star Wars character. Like, and I think it was at one of the Star Wars shows. What is it called? The Star Wars whatever. And there was when they show the preview on screen, and everyone just loses their effing mind over it's a effing movie. When Top Gun Maverick came out, I was like, all right, that's cool, great. I didn't cry and start screaming, saying, "Oh my God, it's Maverick! It's Maverick! It's Maverick!" This world is just lost, crying with despair. The more we criticize, the more they retreat to their safe space and live. Yeah, exactly. They're in deep denial. Did you ever see the movie Fanboys? I saw that's is that the one where they're trying to go to George Luke trying to break into Lucas um the Lucas Ranch? I can't remember. We criticize because we love not because yeah. I've been excited, but it's been a while. Okay, so that's it. No, I can't say I have. I know it's on my list to watch. Um, it's on my list to watch. Yeah, trying to break into skyrocketing and steal. Yeah. Well, it's funny because we actually talked about that yesterday on Nerd Slap's channel. Let me just bring it up. We talked about them. Well, actual people who stole episode 3, and share it here. And people actually went to jail for people actually went to jail for this. So sorry, let me make this a little bigger. Um, what am I looking for? Come on. Sorry, I'm just trying to make this a little bigger for people to see. Uh, Come on. See if I can. Like, um, Give me 1 sec. Let me see if this works. Oh, here we go. So, okay. Hey, David. So here, 8 charge Let me just make that a little smaller. 8 charged with copyright infringement for distributing the latest Star Wars movie that was stolen from post production prior to release. So this was for Revenge of the Sith. Um, so 8 individuals were charged today in relation to a series of events in which a man took a copy of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, for post production facility and shared it with others, one of whom put the movie on the internet the day before the film opened worldwide. I remember this story because I heard from friends saying, "Oh yeah, we got this person got a copy, this person got a copy." It was crazy. So, according to the court documents filed this morning, United States District Court in Los Angeles, just days before the worldwide release of Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, of the final Star Wars movie, several events transpired. Albert Valenti, 28, of Lakewood, California, took a copy of the movie from the post production facility where he worked. Valentine loaned a copy of the movie to a friend, Jesse Lamuda, 28, of Long Beach. Lamuda gave the copy to Ramon Valdez of Long Beach. Valdez shared a copy of the movie with 3 people: Michael J. Fosse, Dwight Wainster, and Stephanie Rico Gima, 25, all whom worked with Valdez at a Los Angeles-based cable company. Gima made a copy of the movie and gave it to her cousin, Joel Damano. Damano loaned his copy to Mark D. Hooligan of Huntington Beach, who uploaded the film onto the internet on May 18th, the day before the Star Wars Episode 3 opened in theaters. So, the criminal investigation charges Linty, who agreed to plead guilty with wrongfully infringing a copyright of distributing of the copy of the Star Wars everyone thing. Like, a criminal complaint charges of da 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 willfully infringing a copyright by distributing or reproducing copies of the film. These 7 defendants are charged with misdemeanors that carry up to 1 year in federal prison. Is charged in the same complaint with 1 count of uploading the movie onto the internet, a felony under a recently enacted Family Entertainment Copyright Act. Copyright Act. If convicted, could be sentenced as much as 3 years in federal prison. All 8 defendants have been summoned to appear in federal court. In an unrelated case, Ronald Redding, 37, of Maryland, was charged this morning with giving his copy of Million Dollar Baby to a friend, even though the movie had been provided to him solely to screen for purposes of voting for the Academy Awards. The information charges Redding, who had agreed to plead guilty with the misdemeanor charge of willfully in bringing a copy of distribution of this film. So, went all the way to the FBI. I remember when this story broke back then because it was crazy. Like, yeah, things happen. Things happen. Let me just go back. People idolize these characters too much. Just because a certain character shows up doesn't automatically make. Yeah, exactly. Uh, the story follows a group of Star Wars fans who head on a road trip to Skywalker Ranch to steal a rough cup of Star Wars Episode 1 to fan next for their dying friend. Yeah, and hey, David. I remember a buddy had a pirate copy of it and give it to me. I didn't even know that what happened to it. Yeah, it's just crazy how something like this, you know. But the one movie I do, because I know everyone when you guys were mentioning fan toys, one movie I actually like, um, um, was I don't know if anyone has seen this, but it was a movie by Robert Meyer Burnett. It's called Free Enterprise. Um, it stars William Shatner, Eric McCormick. Um, Let me just do this. I don't know. It's a Robert Meyer Burnett movie. You know what? Why don't I just do this? Why don't I go to the source? Yeah, do this. Yeah, here we go. Um, sure. So yeah, Free Enterprise. It's Robert Meyer Burnett. Awesome movie. Great nerd movie. Um, I know. I think he said he's trying to get it on Blu-ray this year. Um, but highly recommended. Has William Shatner, Eric McCormick. Um, just a funny movie that deals with two kids who idolize uh, Captain Kirk um, when they were like 10, 11, 12, and then when they grow up and they meet William Shatner, and William Shatner plays himself. So it's a pretty good movie. Um, I got the DVD, but highly recommended. I would yeah, if you ever get the chance, it's a movie to watch. It's very funny. It's very funny because it deals with with relationships, but as the nerddom, you know, like 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 us, like we go to Toys R Us or we go to here and we buy toys, and as grown men, because we're enjoying our hobbies from childhood. Like for myself, you know, when Transformers and G.I. Joe first came out on TV, the cartoon, you know, I was I was glued to the TV. Um, Transformers, when it first launched, it was on Sundays. So I would literally, you know, call me wrong or not, but I didn't go to church because I want to watch Transformers. And then Transformers came on weekday with GI Joe after school. It was 5 days a week. So literally, I would make sure I got home in time to watch Transformers. Um, and then you know, watching that, and then asking my parents for the toys and getting them. And there was only so much they could buy. Excuse me. And then when I got older and when I got a job and I started getting money and I was like, oh, now I can start going, we started going to Toys R Us on the weekends. I can buy this, I can buy that. Um, you know, it was uh it was just one of those things. And then of course when you start making more money, you start growing and you start buying more and you start getting adding more into your collection, and that's how it goes, and that's how we look upon things. You know, like I'm not a I had an ex in my life who hated this stuff. I mean, she despised toys and Transformers and stuff like that. And it was like, you know, mind you, she could have her hobbies, but I wasn't allowed to have mine. And the funny thing is too, she was an equestrian rider, so she rode horse. She had a horse. Now horses aren't cheap, you know. Horses are expensive because you gotta feed them, you gotta house them. You gotta buy all their equipment, and especially when you do show jumping, like equestrian riding, you're traveling. You know, it's it's expensive. So when it came to my collection, it was just like, oh, why'd you buy that? You know, like and the one thing I was really pissed off about, because I had I don't know if anyone remembered Toy Fair or Wizard magazine. Um, let me see if I bring it up. Um, I can bring one up here. Share this. I don't know if anyone remembers this Toy Fair. There was the two. There was Toy Fair and then there was Wizard. I had I had a lot of them because there was some you know they had the um hey, good morning, Count D13. They had they had all the they had some of the Robot Chicken stuff in there. They had I remember the Transformers one where they had all the Transformers listing. They had the GI Joe, but I love these, so I had a stack of them. I mean, I had a lot. I went out one day. X was cleaning the house. I was looked for my magazines. She threw them all out. Gone. I was like, what the f? Threw out all my Toy Fair and Wizard magazines. And there were some banger issues that I really liked. And I was pissed. Just toss them. Oh, you don't need those magazines. You read through them already. You don't need them. Now, luckily, um, I still kept all my toys. I didn't move everything. I kept I kept a lot of my collection at my parents' house. I just knew they would be safe. Um, but when all those magazines went, oh my god, you know, I was pissed. Good morning, Darth. Um, yeah, no, it was there's nothing to be ashamed of or enjoy. Yeah, exactly. That's why she's my ex. Yep. That's Wizard. Yeah, I was so pissed. All those magazines gone, and I thought about Wizard and so on. Yeah, there was Wizard, Toy Fair. I was like that with. Yeah, same. Even with my video games, you know, like me, I love watching this. I love baseball. I'm a baseball fan. Um, you know, oh, you know, do you have to watch baseball so late? If it's a late game, I'm gonna watch it. I love baseball. Morning, Darth Yeager. Happy MonJay. That's grounds for it. Sure is. Well, yeah, we split. Thanks God. Jealous of Cole Hauser's hobby. Hey, good morning, Manotha. You know, um, how would she feel if I went over to her, went over to the horse stables, opened up the thing, and let her horse run loose and take off, never be seen again? Yeah, she wouldn't be happy. She'd probably call the cops on me, but she wouldn't be happy. But I was so pissed. I was so pissed. No, I think I only have I think I only have one left. Um, it was the one Toy Fair. It had Devastator on it. Um, yeah, it's amazing when you lose stuff how much you know. Um, I love the I love Base Wars on NES. You should have turned your horse in. Yeah, yeah. Some things you can do and some things you can't. But I hear you. Um, I lost 20 years of white dwarf and piece of eggs and I threw them out when I was in I was in the military. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I remember that one. Like I like even like so I'm a big hockey fan as well. So when Wayne Gretzky retired, um all there was all these newspaper clipping, like I collected all the newspapers because I want to clip them out and put them in put them in the plastic sheets, you know, just to have something nice. Um, I kept them at my parents' house and everything, but she saw this newspaper, figured, oh, what's all this newspaper sitting here? Threw them all away, all gone. So I lost everything regarding Wayne Gretzky's retirement. Because he was on the front cover of like every newspaper all over the world, and so the ones here in Canada, um, yeah, I was that was yeah. People throw your stuff out. I don't know. People throw things out. Let's not kid around. She knew what she was doing. Oh, of course. When my ex, so I literally, when I was buying DVDs or certain things, I had to keep things in my car. Because she had her car and my car. I didn't. The only time I brought stuff in the house is to put it into my one room. So, um, yeah, she couldn't destroy your memory. No, I can never destroy your memories. It's it's pretty sad though what people go to great lengths, but you know my collection behind me, like that's like nobody touches that stuff, like nobody, because you know this is years and years of collecting and searching and looking for, like, you know, when people said, oh, why do you have six Jetfires? I love Jetfire. Jetfire is one of my favorites. He's just such a rare entity of a transformer that Hasbro bought the rights to, and he's just fantastic to look at, to transform. And I want to make sure I had him. Oops, I wanted to have him up front. The one loose one I have, I got the other loose one. I got actually got to clean it because I want to redo it because he is some yellowing. And then I got my, you know, my all my box ones too. So you know, it's like when I look at Gary's background too. Like Gary's just like, I love his background. Um, like he just has an amazing collection. And I remember when Gary looked at when he said to me about mine, he goes, "Dude, great background," because like our backgrounds are different. Even as you know, when as has all his, you know, his transformers behind him, because you know we just have passion for what we love and what we like. You know, and you know I talk to Az daily because you know we're always talking about what's coming in the collection next. What are we getting? Hey, good morning, Spider. How you doing, bro? Um, you're always looking like, and this is why you know me and Az, you know, we have such a good time talking because he'll send me a picture. He's like, oh, check this out, and I'm just like, oh my god, you got that? And like he got a couple stuff last week, and he just he sends the picture right away, and I was like, dude, that looks so good. And I was just like, where are you finding all this stuff? So, and I'm the same way. Like when I go to my shows, I go to the conventions. Like I am so looking forward to Orlando and and you know, oops, sorry, someone's calling me. Um, Let me just tell him I'll call you back. Let me call him back later. Signal. Um, what was I saying? I think I have it here. Um, because I just had it. Like, I'm really looking forward to Orlando. Um, sure. Hey, Basket City. Like Bob Budiansky. He's going to be at at he's going to be at TFCon Orlando. Um, th- this is the guy who basically wrote the he 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 wrote the Bible for Transformers. Like, this is the guy, and he's gonna be there. Like, and as you see, Dreaded Dinosaur says, I'm gonna get him to sign my print. Uh, like, this is the dude. Um, when what he created the Transformers. So we have him at our show. Looking forward to this. Orlando is going to be sick. I mean, Orlando's going to be amazing. Um, you know, we're just getting things organized. Gonna have Jay. Jay is gonna have his table. He's gonna have his streaming table with his toys. Geeks and gamers. I have the table right beside them, and like, this is the guy who just nobody knows the lore. Like, I love Transformers. I know a lot about Transformers, but nobody knows more than Bob Budiansky, because the guy created uh Generation One. Um, yeah, I think we had him at our show. We had him at our TFCon LA last year with Frank. Um, I don't, because he's what, I think Peter just turned. I think he just turned 85. So I just don't know if he's going to be doing any more shows. Hopefully we'll have him there, but we will have a very special guest there. I can't say who it is, but we're working on details, and it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool if this guy shows up. I'm actually working with my cousin, because my cousin knows this guy, uh, very well known actor. So get that going. Yeah. Oh, nice basket seat. Yeah, we're gonna have a great turnout for this. We're gonna do a meetup as well on the Saturday night with Geeks and Gamers. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Today, I have some things coming in the mall. So borders within sex machine custom border. I don't understand that, but okay. Saw Colin about 10 years ago in Calgary. Good guy. Yeah, we had him at the big one in Toronto. We had him at a lot of the big shows. Um, yeah, I met Stan Bush at our one show. I actually met Vincent DiCola. Vincent DiCola was the music composer for Transformers the movie. He also did Rocky 4. I think he did he do Jaws or something? No, not Jaws. No, because that was Thing, John Williams. Oh, what movie did he do? Um, oh, what did he do? He did, yeah, Vincent did, yeah, I got some great pictures with him. He did Staying Alive, Rocky 4, Transformers the movie, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan video game. So, He did those. The Transformers, yeah, the Transformers movie soundtrack is amazing. Yo, um, yeah, we got a lot of great guests coming to TFCon Orlando, including Jay, Drunk 3PO. He's gonna be there. Uh, yeah, we're gonna try to have it so, because I told Jay it best if he's there at 8. He's there at 8 a.m. For the Friday morning anyway, so he can stream his Welcome to the Rebellion there, because we're actually gonna be, where are we gonna be? I think we might have him outside or inside the main hallway, which is a very long hallway. There's a bar and everything, because they basically told me we can set up wherever we wanted to. So I think, and then G&G is gonna be there. They're gonna have lots of merch there to sell, and then yeah, like I said, the Saturday night we're going to do we're gonna do the meetup. It's not gonna be like a big meetup, but it'll be a nice size, like probably 20-30 people. Because I had to book the space for like 30 people, so it'll be a lot of fun. It will be a lot of fun. But yeah, Bob Boone. I met Bob. I think it was a couple years ago at one of our shows. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah. I I still I still need the LP for I still need the LP for Transformers the movie, because I just got the like I got the regular, like I just got the regular LP, like the soundtrack. So it's the background music. So yeah, it has all the background music on it. There was two versions, because they did an Optimus version, and then they did a Megatron version. But there was also, yeah, then there was this one. And then there is this one for the soundtrack. And then um so this had more of the season 3. This had a lot of the season 3 music. And this was for the 40th anniversary, right? So, and then I got the GI Joe soundtrack, all the music. It's funny because most of the soundtrack on here is also on Transformers, because they share the same music. Especially well, mainly season 3, because season 3 Transformers and season 2 GI Joe did a lot of crossover music. Yeah, season 3 has, yeah, but season 3 too, they had some really nice music tones that I really liked. So I actually used it in some of my videos I've been making. Um, so yeah, I like season 3 music. And then they use actually, no, sorry. Some of the season 3 music in Transformers was actually from that was in GI Joe the movie. So that's what I wanted. That's what I was getting at. So then I got my sound wave here. So Soundwave, having fun with that. It's funny because I've transformed Soundwave more than I have my Optimus Prime, because I just think Soundwave's just so much cooler for this Robosen. But yeah, it's not cheap. That's for sure. They're not cheap. And and I think this time when I go away, um, because I have someone that stays here while I'm gone. Because when I go down to Texas and then Orlando, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put I think I might just put a camera up so I can just keep an eye on everything. Um, because I like to make sure everything is good. But yeah, I can't wait for, for TFCon. Soundwave, my favorite transformer. To something. Yeah, I like Soundwave. We actually at our last event we had Scott Brownlee. He was the guy who made the voice box basically for Soundwave's voice. I have the G1 Soundwave cassettes. Yeah, I got most of them. Um, and then the Missing Link Soundwave comes out, I think this month too. I heard it's I heard it's expensive, but what are you gonna do, right? Prowl is my favorite Autobot. I like Prowl. Prowl and Blue Streak are my favorites. Who is your favorite GoBots? So growing up, I only had when I was a kid, I only had two GoBots that my parents bought me because Transformers were so expensive. So I guess so I guess Leader One would be my favorite GoBot. Yeah, I think Leader One would be my favorite GoBot. But I had Spacey and Psycho. Um, they had Transformer re-release trailer last night before, and they said something. Yeah, they're putting in a new. So Spider from, and this is where me and Jay, we disagree on this because he thinks they're gonna basically wash season three and then just make Optimus Prime come back to life. But he came back to life in season three. So it looks like they're adding in some new footage, um, which I think is which I think is stupid. He died. Can't change that, no matter how much people want it to change. But he died. Enough said. Move on. By bringing him back, all you're doing is screwing up the Transformers continuity because we all know what happens. They bring him back to life. So, you know, I don't get it. I saw a Shockwave on the shelf last night. I wanted it, but it was $43. Um, what was the condition? I only had Fitor. I had a Super GoBot because remember you had GoBots and Super GoBots because the Super GoBots were bigger. It was a car. I can't remember what it was. I hate when people crap on GoBots because you know what? I never crapped on GoBots because GoBots is what it is. It you know, I never crapped on it. Beast Wars I'll crap on, and rightly so. And the reason because people always say, oh, I have an ongoing feud with Dreaming Tabitha because she's a GoBots. I mean, she's a Beast Wars fan. I know Spider likes Beast Wars. Listen, I understand people grew up with Beast Wars at that time when it came out. The reason why I don't like Beast Wars is because they took G1 stories, G1 continuity, and they put it in Beast Wars. That's what I don't like. If Beast Wars was its own standalone cartoon, I'd be fine with it. They mess with something that they shouldn't have. They should have left. They should have left out. Optimus Prime, Ravage, Starscream's Ghost. They should have left that out of Beast Wars. Be its own cartoon series. That's it. It's pretty clean. There were three. What do you mean there were three? Um, it was a good box. It was the purple. It was clean for $43. Why didn't you grab it? I would have grabbed it easy. Hey, good morning, Jed. I would have grabbed that box. See, that's what happened at MegaCon. Guy had a shockwave. He was asking way too much for it. I said, "Listen, I'll take it for this much because the window was broken." And, and he was like, "Oh, I got buyers." It was Sunday. Sunday MegaCon is when everyone wants to get rid of stuff. The fact that if it was so good, it would have been sold on the Thursday. It would have been sold on the Thursday. Beast, Beast era and Unicron trilogy was okay, but I mainly stick to G1. 3 on the shelf. Okay. Were they boxed on the shelf? Did you take pictures? Um, like I like Robots in Disguise. I think Robots in Disguise is a good cartoon. I think um I think Transformers Armada is a good cartoon. Um, those are post Generation 1 that actually did a pretty good job with the story. Um, sorry, chat. Yeah, I thought Transformers Armada did a very good job. You know, because they had everyone in it. Um, you know, I think it was Armada. They had some Predacons in it too. But I didn't have a problem. I didn't have the problem with the storyline. Oh, Star saying. I was disappointed with Beast Wars because it was at the time it just wanted more G1 stories, not weird animal robots. Yeah, like the Japanese Beast Wars seems to be a better storyline, but they didn't do that crazy stuff. Um, the graphics and stuff. I know me and Epic Mike, we kind of go at each other on this because he was like, well, because it was a reboot, that cartoon reboot they did that Beast Wars became a part of. So, but like Epic Mike was just like, well, it got an Academy Award, and I was like, yeah, don't care. They still mess with the G1 continuity. Hey, Beach Dad, how you doing, bro? Box, yes, no picks. Black box, the movie edition. No picks, black box. Shockwave movie edition. So is a Shockwave movie edition? Black box. How come I don't know that one? Uh, oh, it's a studio series. Okay, yeah, no, I'll pass. I'll pass. Um, do you have any pretenders? Yes, I actually do. Uh, count if you look. I don't think you can see them. Right up top there. Count. Oops. There. Let me do this arm. See right there? Those are 3 pretenders. So I got 3 pretenders up there. They're all complete. I learned about Beast Wars at 12 years old. I still wish I had. Wish I had. And listen, I will never knock anyone for liking Beast Wars. I think Beast Wars is fine for everybody who likes them. Um, that's it. This is just not for me because, like I said, if they didn't put the problem is when they went digging in that mountain and they found the Ark and they found all the Autobots in stasis and Decepticons. I'm just like, what are you guys thinking? It shouldn't be in here. And then Ravage showed up in an episode where he's like, he's speaking Russian, and then Starscream's ghost shows up. I'm just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and this is why I will defend my statement to this day that Beast Wars sucks because of what they did with the Generation One stuff. They should have left the generation if they left the G1 stuff out of it. I would have no problem with Beast Wars because it'd be a cartoon that's on its own. And they brought it back for Beast Machines too. Um, oh yeah, they had Ravage in it, and he first of all, Ravage is walking. He's not on his four legs. He's walking now, and he's speaking with a Russian accent. Stupid. Man, I actually found an episode of Visionaries back in the day. It took me back. Yeah, Visionaries was awesome. And if you watch the original intro cartoon commercials for Visionaries, it's stated they state right away from the makers of the Transformers. Well, we all know everyone. It's Hasbro, but yeah. Um, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Studio Series Shockwave. I wouldn't listen. You can give it to me for free, and I wouldn't take it. They can say, "Oh, here I got a Studio Series Shockwave." It could be sealed in the box, and I would say, "No, no, I'm good." You know that meme? No thanks, I'm good. That's what I would say. I would not take that. God, that looks horrible. And it's $60 brand new on Amazon. Yeah, yeah. I don't I actually like I know a lot of people don't like Pretenders, but I actually like the concept and I like the commercial of Pretenders. You know, because I love how when they show up, is everyone's like thinking, "What? Why are those humans so big?" And then it's actually just their shell and their transformers. The actual transformer comes out, and then the shells come back together, which they can actually fight alongside, which they control. I'll be lurking now and work. Thanks, Space Rebel. Yeah, we're just hanging out, and they're considered Beast Wars canon. Yeah, I like Mask. Mask is part of Hasbro. They're part of that line as well. So anything that's Hasbro pretty much related. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Gem, Cops, Mask, Inhumanoids, Visionaries. I like. But there's other stuff I like too, right? Like Cops is my favorite. I love Cops. Central Organization of Police Specialists, like Bulletproof, Long Arm, Dr. Badvise, Big Boss, Berserker, Turbo Two Tone, Nightshade, you know, just Bouncer and Blitz, Mainframe, um, yeah, Sundown. There was a lot of characters. Brave Star. Brave Star was one of my favorites as well. I love Brave Star. You know, if they tried to make all these things irrelevant, but Brave Star was great, and they're on the planet of New Texas. Like, how badass was that? I had no idea what is worth collecting at this point. Um, I like I said, I stay away from the new stuff. Like if unless it's like it's a collector's um issue of a Transformers or GI Joe, but this is why um the missing links are selling out. Why the like fans toys Transformers are selling out because it Hasbro whatever Hasbro is trying to do with all these bad looking figures, nobody wants to touch them. Fighting crime in a future time. Yeah, the cop. It's Cops is amazing. It's funny because Carl Masick, the guy who created Robotech, he actually wrote a few episodes of Cops. That horse with a shotgun, yeah, Sarah Jane. Yeah, Brave Star was awesome. Brave Star was such a what was it Strength of a Bear, Eyes of a Puma, no, Eyes of a Hawk, Speed of a Puma. It was so good. You know what? Let me see if I can find the Brave Star. Um, I like Brave Star. Um, if I don't get Clash. Let's see. Let me share this. Yeah, yeah, Ears of a Wolf. Oh, just going down nostalgic. Share screen. Hope I don't get clipped, but I should be okay. Yeah, the good old days. The good old days. Yeah, in the 80s that you had the best when you know you had great intros, great cartoons. It was all good. Uh, yeah, Braystar was yeah, I like Braystar. Dropping yeah, cops knowledge. Yeah. I like Silverhawks too. Yeah, I like Silverhawks too. Yeah, like I said, Brave Star is not part of Hasbro. Um, so there is a connection between cops and GI Joe. Who was it? I can't remember, but one of the cops is related to GI Joe. Related to Beachhead. Um, was it? It wasn't Long Arm. Law. It was something Law. I can't remember who it was. I saw pictures of the leader class Blitzwing Gem one. It looks like yeah. Well, even yeah, that was one of the bad ones. Was was Blitzwing. And like even because I remember I was talking to ads and I would say, listen, I'm not buying any of this studio series because they don't look good. And like I know Az said he was getting Optimus Prime and Megatron, but he agreed. He said they just didn't look good. Um 80 90s cartoon and shows are yeah, they were the best. Yeah, memories. Um all those shows had great theme song. Snake Man must have been something else. Yeah. Um Even the 80s, 90s commercial had jingles. Don't get that much. You know what's funny, John? Because I have, so back in the day, I would record all my stuff on VHS. So when I wasn't home, um, I would record Transformers, G.I. Joe. So I have them all. So basically, what I do is I would record all the commercials too. So I got some crazy commercials that were back in the day, like Honeycomb. I don't know if you remember Bonkers. There were so many. I got all those old school. I digitalized everything from VHS onto my computer, so I have everything. I did load it to YouTube one day, but I got they told me no, I couldn't use it, so I had to make it private. But yeah, it's just some of those old school like Rice Krispies, like commercials that actually worked. So everything's slop. Yeah, everything's slop now. It's devolving into AI. So yeah, they don't even want to pay musicians or no, because on a Saturday morning, you know everyone remembers Alvin and Chipmunks when that came out. They were actually playing. They were actually playing music. Nowadays, if you did Alvin and the Chipmunks today, it would all be AI and it'd be all AI music, and it'd all be electronic because you would not have people playing that like proper music like they did back in the day. So yeah, you've lost that art of actual musicians and songwriters. I love Alvin and the Chipmunks because when they'd be playing their music and everything, it was great. You don't get that anymore. I miss theme songs for shows. Yeah, like shows like Knight Rider was iconic. The theme, Starsky and Hutch, um, Hunter. Like I'm watching TJ. Like I just went back. I started watching season one of TJ Hooker. Like it's so funny because watching TJ Hooker being a cop, like the show is so based. I mean, it is based, that show, and it's wild because when you hear Hooker talking about you know the laws of police and you know these leftists, you know what did he say? One of the episode he said these leftist boards who try to stop us from doing our job, and they're trying, like, because he took out a bad guy, and they're trying to say, well, do you think 3 bullets was too much? And Hunter's just like, sorry, Hooker's just like, the guy was hopped up on PCP and this and that. I wasn't gonna let him. He already took out my partner. You think I'm gonna let him take me out? So I love TJ Hooker. If anyone, highly recommend watch it. It's a very base cop show, and it's one of those shows nowadays where you actually um you they stand up for police. They stand up for justice. Where now they have to defund the police now. Um, I make sound tracks, but I'm also a musician. Yeah, well, you are, and you have some good tracks, John. Same with Monotha. Got some good, got some good tracks. No, I did not watch Dino Saucers. I watched Cadillacs and Dinosaurs though. That was a pretty good cartoon. I went to Chipmunks, Witch Doctor. Yeah, I remember that. Ja- uh, You know, you know what? You know what, Tony? There were some episodes where you think there was a stunt double. There wasn't. It was all Shatner. It was all Shatner at his age. Um, I got a new phone. I can't use it. Um, Shatner was just doing some crazy stuff. Like I love T.J. Hooker. It was such a great show. But like I said, he was so based in that show. Uh, um, like I said, if you get a chance, I don't know what it's showing on, but it's so good. It is so good. I love this show. So I just started season one, and I tell you, he's not afraid to yeah, the chat. Uh, it's funny if you reverse roles, like like him as T.J. Hooker and then him as Captain Kirk. It'd be interesting because, like I said, he's pretty in this show. He's pretty badass. He is so good, and of course you have Heather Locklear in this. Okay, it's on Tubi. Yeah, chat, go check it out. You want a good base cop show? This is the one. Back when I had my, I used to stream all the ghost shows. I had them bookmarked. Nice. Yeah, I actually have the DVDs because I still buy my physical media. So if I can get more physical media like this, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, great show to watch. Base Captain Kirk. So, but like I said, a lot of the scenes you think that I'm always like I'm watching. I'm looking for a stunt double. It's not a stunt double. It's Shatner. I still gotta watch Boston Legal because I the clips I've seen on YouTube, he's pretty funny in that. So he's still going at he's what 95, 96, still going. Yeah, TJ Hawker's awesome. Yeah, I got a ton of shows I got, so like I said, I'm just going back and watching. Okay, yeah, he's 95. He's been acting a long time. Yeah, Boston Legal is peak Shatner. Yeah, I gotta watch it. But the DVDs are still so expensive. DVDs were still so expensive, so I try when I find DVDs at a good price, that's when I usually buy them. Like even the Hunter set, Fred Dryer and Stephanie Kramer, like they were still going at like 80, $90. So I kind of just waited out. Or like Walmart, like the Walmart by me, it still has they still have DVDs there. Did anyone get the man? So I have the first 4 seasons downloaded of Magnum PI. Um, yeah, I have those downloaded. I have those on my hard drive. So I still got to get the rest of them. But yeah, no, I don't have any Blu-rays for Magnum PI. It's funny because I knew who Magnum was. I never was really into Magnum till like later, and then I got into them. And then I download it, but it only had the first 4 seasons, so I need to get them all. They might get change the soundtrack. So so Miami. It's funny because Miami Vice, all the music's in there. Um, um, the show Tour of Duty. So when they released on DVD, they scrapped all the music. So because it's Vietnam, right? So you got all the '60s and early '70s music. They scrapped, but mainly it was all the '60s music. So they scrapped it all. And Tour of Duty was known because the intro song was Painted Black, Rolling Stones. So in somebody like there was earlier DVDs of it. I was actually found it. It was in the UK. I ordered it that had the original music soundtrack, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Because when Tour of Duty started, it was just like when that iconic, Painted Black dropped. Oh, so good. Yeah, yeah, the iconic, yeah, Magnum was good. Even physical media can have problems. Yeah, they did. And remember, WKRP took forever to come out in DVD because of all the music rights. It was nuts. Um, Yo, 73 X-Men Tour of Duty intro as a kid was, yeah, I love that intro. Nothing beats Painted Black. That was like one of the baddest intros. Um, yeah, Rolling Stones, and they changed it. Go away. Um, yeah, there was yeah, there's some good shows that need a rewatch that you can find. Yeah, Mojo, did you ever watch the new reboot of, well, the relaunch of WKRP. I think I caught like a couple episodes because it still had Herb. It had the station, the I can't remember the station manager's name. Oh, Carlson, and then I think they had one other person, and I know they brought back Tim Reed for one of the episodes. But yeah, they did a new, they brought it back. It was called the new WKRP in Cincinnati. I started watching WKRP as an adult. It was good. I recommend News Radio too. It's different. Oh, so brilliant. I've caught a few episodes of News Radio. That was that was the Phil Hartman, right? I think I did not. Lonnie Anderson. No, she passed a few years ago. Yeah, Lonnie Anderson passed a few years ago. TV doesn't know how to make sitcoms anymore. I heard Night Court reboot. Yeah, oh, the Night Court reboot was horrible. I watched one episode. So basically, the new judge is Harry Stone's daughter. I tried watching it. Like Dan Larroquette's in it. He came back. Um, it just looks so bad. The joke, the jokes were weak. You would never get the humor because the humor of Night Court, they went, they weren't afraid to go off and you know, but yeah, it was just not there. Comedy is, and I hate to say this, comedy is dead. It's done. It's finished. You will not get, you will not get you will not get the comedy that we had in the 80s and 90s, and even into the 2000s. You won't get that anymore. Comedy is finished. I hate to burst people's bubble, but you are not going to get comedic satire ever again. It's done. It's over. So I know people wishing, with the reboot of the Naked Gun, and then of course Spaceballs 2, and what was it, Scary Movie 6. I'm sorry, but comedy is finished. It's done. So people are wishing that, oh yeah, well, I can't wait till this movie comes out. It's not going to happen because with the Naked Gun, the jokes were forced. Same thing with Scary Movie, it was forced. Spaceballs, it's going to be forced. Yeah, it's Mel Gibson. It's Mel Brooks, but it's not Mel Brooks of 1986, right? So say all you want. It's comedy's finished. Just go back and watch old comedy. That's all you can do. Because in this day and age of the DEI and people being offended by this joke or somebody hearing the N word and get offended, forget about it. Forget about it. I posted a clip this morning on X. I said, have a great Monday and enjoy a laugh. You know what I posted? I posted Eddie Murphy Raw, the the part where he's making fun of uh gays. I'll just say that. Just go watch it. Uh yeah, same with oh, let me just get this. Yeah, she passed away last August. Shame. Yeah, Quantum Leap was bad. It's like, why bother? I don't even know why they even bother to do that. The comedy is a dead art. Yeah, it sure is. It's done. New York Court. Yep. Yeah, the Dan Larroquette show was funny. That was funny. Yeah, Richard Mall. Actually, it was. I was just watching an episode of T.J. Hooker, and Richard Mall was in it. He was in it. Yeah, Night Court in the '80s was great because they weren't afraid to make those sexist, racist jokes and stuff like that. They didn't care. That was peak. That was good comedy. I feel bad for Bruce. Yeah, it's sad, but like, listen, let's hope he can beat it. Oh, yeah, and comedy's never coming back. Comedy is only gonna come back when you can start doing Eddie Murphy jokes again, like Raw and Delirious, and Andrew Dice Clay. You know, yeah, Spaceballs 2 will be trash. It will be trash. It's friggin' 40 years too late. So many aliens and Icors start bringing them down. Like, John Larroquette's like Dan Fielding playing a sex starved, you know, it was like he was classic. He was just classic in that show, and he wasn't afraid to throw down. Comedy can't be good with today. No, it can't be because everyone's offended. It's not going to be blazing. Exactly. I watched like 5 minutes of the new scary movie and turned it off. When I saw some of the jokes in that, I was just like, "Are you kidding?" Like, oh, I don't know if to be racist or not, and I'm Republican. It's like, yeah, sorry, that's funny. Oh, scary movie was so bad. I think comedy got edgy in 2000, early 2010s, but overall, they overdid a little because they weren't subject to network censorship and the premium movies. No, exactly. So the last couple movies I know of, um, Tropic Thunder and a movie called Stretch. The only last movies I know that was comedy funny. Comedy still needs discipline, focus, and time. Yeah, you got to be able to make people laugh. Yeah, he played he played a Klingon in Star Trek 3. He was the last Klingon to survive. Yeah, I remember Sequest. That was with with Roy Scheider. Yeah, Roy Schneider. Yeah, I remember watching Sequest. For the time and age, it was actually pretty cool. Yep, he they played the yeah, I'm from Idaho. When it yeah, Brent Smith was on. Yeah, Terry Hatcher. Yeah, a lot of people were on that. John Aston. Yep, I think John Aston's still alive. I think he's still kicking. Uh, yeah, he had that iconic line. Oh, I'm feeling much better now. They would ask him, "Weren't you in an insane asylum?" And he's like, "I was, but I'm feeling much better now." That was funny. I spent a lot of time rewatching old TV shows. I'm always repulsed by them. I used to watch. Um, yeah. If you are offending people, you aren't doing your comedy. Yeah, he did get a bit overweight too. Um, Chat, give me 1 second. Um, give me 1 second, chat. Okay, I am back. So I'm going to recommend something. If you want something funny to watch, and you're not going to be want to be offended, but I suggest you watch Soap. Um, Soap is it's a comedy, and they tear into everything. Billy Crystal is in this. He plays gay. It's one of the funniest shows you will ever see. Um, they go after everybody. I mean, they tear in. I don't know if you, that's a little better. They tear into everybody in this show. You want offensive humor. I think Soap is the one show that does it. So I think this is even more. Married with Children would be second to this. Um, yeah, Married with Children would be second to this. But Soap was just, oh my god, talk about comedy gold. Comedy is a bite. I watched live TV for 3 decades. 90s comedy didn't hit the same way. Sage. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Soap is great. Million Children was funny. So I stopped at season for Married Children. I think I stopped at season 5 because then it just started getting repetitive. That's my opinion. But Married Children just got a little much with the huge cheering and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay. So we'll check out Soap. Yeah, you'll love Soap. Like I said, Soap. It's yes, Soap is it's a great show. People see. Yeah, it was satire. Thinking the shows repeat itself after the few seasons. Yeah, it showed its it showed its I guess going after if you're looking at how can I say like when you pass season like a season 3, if it makes it past a season 3 to see how it goes, then it either lifts off or it doesn't. So like the usually because remember usually the first seasons are usually like okay like Three's Company the first season was only like 6 episodes, and I think they were just trying to figure out where their ground game was. But after those 6 episodes were a success, then it went on to season 2, and then it got the 20 plus, and then 3 and 4, and you know. Um, but I think what hurt also Three's Company was the whole thing with Chrissy with Suzanne Summers, how everything just kind of bottomed out with her because she wanted more money, and yeah, it just got stupid. Yeah, how she changed her style. Um, yeah, it's funny because for who she is, she directed a lot of the Mad TV episode. Everyone knows Mad TV. She directed a lot of those episodes, surprisingly. Um, I remember Get a Life when he's riding the bike, and at the end of the intro, he crashes into the car. Um, that makes 73 transmit. That makes sense. Um, Suzanne Summers acting was acting like today's Hollywood. That makes a lot of sense. Fox started delivering trash like happily ever after the puppet went. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't care for that puppet. one of the shows. So because remember, Simpsons was still on Tracy Ullman. Then you had Married with Children. I think, yo, what's up, Nerd Slap? Um, Cops. Cops was on. Cops was just getting going, and then one of the shows I really liked. Um, one of Fox's first shows that I really like was. I know most people won't know of it. Um, oops. Let me share my screen. This came out the same time as Married with Children. So it was called The Adventures of Beans Baxter. It had in one of the stars it had was Kirkwood Smith. You know the guy who plays Red in that '70s show, Clarence Boddicker and RoboCop. But he was in this as well. So basically, Beans' father gets kidnapped. Beans' father is a government agent. He gets kidnapped by Ugly, and it was a comedy spy adventure. So Beans takes over. So, but yeah, this was one of Fox's first shows with Married with Children. So it was only like 14 episodes. Um, but yeah, I love this show, and I've been trying to find it. I but now that Disney, um, Disney has Fox now, so who knows? But if they were to, I guarantee you, if they were to reboot this show, Beans would be black or trans or whatever. But yeah, this was such a good show. Um, and his kid brother Scooter knew what was going on, but never played it. They had a lot of stars in this too. So, but like I said, Kurtworth Smith, he played a role in this. Um, yeah, I remember Inside Herman's Head. Yeah, Matt LeBlanc had that spin-off. Ed O'Neill. Yeah. Oh, Ed O'Neill was funny in he was funny in um Modern Family. I like Modern Family. I thought Modern Family was pretty good. I thought Modern Family was I like he was in a movie called Dutch that I enjoyed. I also liked him Ed O'Neill. He was in the Adventures of Ford Fairlane with Andrew Dice Clay. That was a funny movie. That was a very funny movie. You had Tone Loc, you had Lauren Holly, Priscilla Presley. Yeah, that was an all-star cast. Um, yeah, he had a there was some good. I like yeah. Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Here's another comedy. Everybody, if nobody wants to be offended, um, I highly recommend go watch the Adventures of Ford Fairlane. It's pretty damn funny. Andrew Dice Clay. Oh, it has Robert Englund from Freddy. Uh, it's a pretty funny movie. Let me just share. Like I said, I miss good comedy. So yeah, I had oops, let me close that. So Priscilla Presley, Ed O'Neill, Robert England, Gilbert Godfrey, Lauren Holly, Matty Croman, Tone Loc, and Wayne Newton. So just a classic. So Kojak, Columbo, Dirty Harry wins. If you want to laugh, and like I said, you want to laugh, and you know, I actually have the DVD of this because this is one. There are certain DVDs I just made sure I went and got because I was just like, you know, gotta have this. Man, you just don't make good movies. So yeah, I like I listen, I like offensive movies. I like what do I care? It's just like you make something good for people to watch, right? That's all it is. You know, you want something with the audience. I still believe they shouldn't have made a Naked Gun remake. Just go back and watch the old Naked Guns because they're funny as hell. You know, because because with the old Naked Guns, you know you're gonna get a laugh. Um, that's why I like watching the old Eddie Murphy movies. You know, now will Eddie Murphy now distance himself from like Raw, Delirious, and the stuff he says in Beverly Hills Cop in 48 Hours? Um, you know, I love 48 Hours. One of the funniest scenes I love is when the black police captains he calls Eddie Murphy's character, the N word. It was funny, you know. It was funny, and you laugh at stuff like that. It's you know, like I said, we've just become so soft and so um we just become a soft society now. That's all it is. Um, yeah, it's pretty sad. What time is that? Oh, that's 9. So yeah, yeah, go hard or go home, because you'll never replicate the stuff that we're known for and what we have. So what else? Um, Let me just see here. Sorry, chat. Just yeah. So like I said, go watch Free Enterprise, watch Adventure for Family, watch T.J. Hooker, watch Soap. There's a lot of there's a lot of media out there that people just don't know about, and they still don't um realize what you're missing out there because there's just so much, you know, so much from this. You can go back into the late '60s. I've been trying to get Ryan to watch Hogan's Heroes because we all know Hogan's Heroes is a comedy about American prisoners of war being in a Nazi prison, and it's comedic gold. It's funny. Now I know they wouldn't dare try to make a movie like that today, but you know, it's like MASH. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, MASH." Like MASH is funny until like the first 5 seasons, and then afterwards it got serious, right? But just any type of comedy that wasn't afraid to offend and do this and do that, there's nothing wrong with that. And I just think as a society and as people, we've lost touch because nobody wants to be offended. Me, am I going to be offended because I think what goes around comes around. If somebody makes fun, you know, for comedians using the N word or whatever, it's just like I don't get offended by that. It's a joke, you know. Um, when who was it? Joe Rogan had a guy on who was East Indian, and he was making fun of he was making fun of black people. It was a college that invited him to do his to do his comedy bits, and he was scheduled for like 45 minutes, and they pulled him after 5 minutes because there was a gay black guy in the crowd, and the gay black guy even said he wasn't offended, but the three white liberals who put this thing together were offended, and I'm just like, hold on here. You got an East Indian telling a joke about a gay black guy, and the black guy wasn't offended, but the three white girls were. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You cancel the guy's set after 5 minutes. Let me see if I can just find that quickly. Um, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Um, let me see if I can find it. Because I remember it was a story because but this is how sad so sad people are. Um,
The show is about like representing Asian identity.
um, I don't think I can play it. Um, yeah, I don't think I can play Joe Rogan stuff. Um, but yeah, this guy was kicked off of let me just see. Oh, here it is. Let me just see. Let me see if I can find another one. 'Cause I know I'll get. Um, see if I can find another video where he can talk about it. I'm just trying to find a clip because I'd like to play the Joe Rogan one, but I'm afraid that I might get hit on that. Um, yeah, it was at Columbia. I think it was at Columbia University too. It's funny because it looks like he was also on that loser Jimmy Kimmel, but it looks like, well, that was before this happened. Um, Let me see if I can play this.
Telling a joke that
Yeah, let me just see if I can just show a minute of this. It's funny. It's on YouTube, so I don't know why I can't play it, but it is what it is.
a few months ago there was this comedian that got kicked off stage at Columbia University for telling a joke that was deemed racist and homophobic. And I know the story quite well because that comedian was me. This is how the joke goes. I used to live in Hell's Kitchen. which is a fairly diverse neighborhood in New York City. And every time I leave my apartment, to be a gay black man, they tell me my socks didn't match my outfit or some other goofy shit. And I try to learn things from people all the time. This is a gay black man. So what can I learn from Percy? That's what I named him. Not Percy, but Pursey, because he always had a bag on him. And yeah. So what can I learn from Percy? It's a gay black man. So one day I'm looking at him, and I get lost in his eyes for a little bit because he's a pretty guy. So what can I learn from Percy? It's a gay black man. One day it clicked. It's like, this is how you know that being gay.
Let me just put it up. So.
I'm gonna put on a Madonna Hall, and the day later I made the news. I made the news. Columbia University in November of 2018, and I got kicked off stage. And the day later, I made the news. I'm gonna give you the inside scoop. This is what happened. What's your name? Pooja, this is what happened. Don't blog about this or do any of that kind of shit. TMZ might hit you up. TMZ hit me up to talk about it. And I said no because they tried to end Kanye West's career. And after watching that R. Kelly doc, Kanye don't seem so bad. And this is what happened. I'll give you the inside scoop. In May of 2018, I was invited by Columbia University Asian American Alliance to perform at the annual Culture Shock Festival. Now, this is Asian, like my kind of Asian, but also kind you guys are picturing. And they're like, hey, Nimesh, we're big fans of your work. You were the first Indian to ever write on SNL. We want you to come do our show. And I was the first Indian to ever write on SNL. Hopefully not the last, but thank you, but I don't want to get it twisted. I'm not like the Jackie Robinson of Indian writers. You know, I didn't barge into Lorne Michaels' office like, hey, fuck Taco Tuesday, we're doing Tandoori Thursday from here. It was none of that. And I've done tons of these shows before. I used to dead silence. You could hear people shit in the bathroom. That's how quiet. But sometimes as a comedian, you do jokes for you. And I was like, let's see what this crowd's about. If this joke works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll just go back and do this other shit. And it didn't work. I was like, all right, just roll with it. See what happens. 3 minutes later, the 3 young Asian women that invited me to do the show come on stage in one trench coat and and like, hey, Nimesh, you've said some things that are offensive. We need you to go. And then they asked me if I have any closing remarks. All of me wanted to say, I hope you all fail your finals. But I didn't say that. I kept my composure. I tried to save it with a joke. I would joke about how it's a very difficult time to be an Asian person these days because it feels like white people and black people, there's a lot of tension between them, and there's about to be a war between black people and white people, and Asians and Indians will have to choose a side, and that shit bombed. And and then they cut my mic, and I leave the stage. And side stage is like a 5'5" Asian woman waiting for me. And she goes, I have to escort you out because of security risks. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight a bunch of breakdancers. And and then I get in my car and I immediately call my Jewish friend Jared, this comedian. Say, hey man, I just got kicked off stage at Columbia University. And he goes, did you get paid though? I was like, thank you for reminding me what's important.
So you get the gist of it, you know. You can't say anything, yeah, you can't say anything nowadays. You immediately get criticized. So, you know, but the black guy even said he wasn't offended by the joke. So that's society. That's society. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But yeah, I think that is it. I gotta get some work done today because I got a busy day tomorrow. So I gotta collect this, gotta collect that, gotta do this, gotta do that. But I just want to say thanks to everyone who was just hanging out. Just a chill stream. Just easy going. Yeah, it's just quiet. And there's no race war. People promoting a race war, it means you, Tim Pool. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, I think comedy is dead. I don't think comedy is coming back. Because once you say something, you get outed, and then what do you do? Me, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna keep doing what I keep doing, whether people get offended or not. If they don't listen, it's the whole thing. If they don't like me, they don't have to watch. So, um, what do you do? But yeah, chat. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure having everyone in chat, engaging, talking, and just having a good time. I'm gonna send you guys over to Marvin at G&G. Uh, Marvin's my bro. Um, but yeah, he's always talking good stuff over there. You know, because he's the writer for Geeks and Gamers and that Park Place. So he's got a lot of good takes. So follow him, and everyone have a great day, and I'll see you soon.
Anniversary to G.I. Joe. 199, yo Joe. 40th anniversary, huh?
No, a real American hero. That's what he means.
Oh.
A-R. Yeah, a real American hero.
I thought that was just like coming from the perspective of a Chinese Muslim. Like, praise Allah. That's what I thought that was.
I'll tell you what, she made it wrong, but then when you brought the Chinese Muslim into it.
There you go. Praise Allah. Come get my she chicken.
Oh, shit.